All right, crypto heads, get ready to dive deep. We're talking Q1 and Q2 2024.
And trust me, things got interesting.
We've got those Coingecko reports fired up, ready to unearth the why behind all the roller coaster ride.
We are talking serious market movers, surprising tech, and of course what it all means for your crypto strategy.
First up, imagine this. The total crypto market cap shot up a whopping 64.5% in Q1.
Whoa!
That's over $1 trillion, folks.
Yeah.
Bitcoin hitting a new all-time high of 73,098 towers definitely fueled a rocket, especially after the crypto winter we saw. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a Bitcoin party.
You're right. The whole market was feeling bullish.
Yeah.
One fascinating thing we saw was this unusual link between the S&P 500 and crypto. Usually they move in opposite directions, right? But this time, they were practically holding hands.
Like they were best buddies suddenly. What's going on there?
It points to the influence of macro factors. Think inflation and interest rates. When those are all over the place, people get nervous. Sometimes they see crypto as a hedge against that uncertainty, just like some traditional assets.
So it's like the whole financial world was in this weird dance, and crypto got swept up in the rhythm. But amidst all this, there was a specific corner of the cryptoverse that caught my eye. Those Solana meme coins. Remember that frenzy? Turns out, they weren't just a sideshow. They were actually part of one of the hottest narratives of Q1.
Absolutely. While those meme coins were grabbing headlines, we also saw serious buzz around artificial intelligence and real-world assets, or RWAs.
Right.
And these are way more than just trendy buzzwords.
Okay, so let's break down why AI and RWAs were getting so much attention. We'll save the meme coins for later. What makes them so groundbreaking?
AI is changing how we interact with everything, right? Well, it's also poised to revolutionize blockchain technology. Think about AI algorithms, optimizing transactions, improving security, even creating entirely new types of decentralized applications. And then you have RWAs. This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, you've piqued my curiosity.
Yeah.
What's so fascinating about RWAs?
Imagine taking real-world assets like real estate, art, or even intellectual property and putting them on the blockchain. That's what RWAs are all about. And this opens up a whole new world of possibilities like fractional ownership, increased liquidity, and greater transparency.
So instead of needing a ton of money to invest in, say, a Picasso, you could potentially own a tiny piece of it through a token. That's mind-blowing.
Exactly. And that's why RWAs were generating so much buzz. They have the potential to bridge the gap between the physical and digital worlds in ways we've never seen before.
All right, so we've got the market going wild, Bitcoin on a tear, and these massive trends like AI and RWAs emerging. But amidst all of this, Ethereum decided to burn money. I mean, I've heard of taking a lighter to a dollar bill for a magic trick, but over 113,000 ETH gone from circulation in Q1. That's next level. What's the strategy there?
It sounds crazy, but it's all part of Ethereum's long game to become even more competitive. Remember the merge everyone was talking about? That was a huge step, but they're not stopping there.
So this burning thing, is it like a controlled demolition to make way for something bigger and better?
Exactly. Think of it like this. By removing ETH from circulation, they're essentially controlling the supply. And when supply goes down, demand can go up, which can potentially impact the price. It's like a strategic tightening of the belt.
Makes sense. Less ETH floating around, more value for what's left. But weren't there also those things called Layer 2 solutions that were supposed to make Ethereum faster and cheaper? How did those play into this grand plan?
Layer 2s are crucial. They're like express lanes built on top of the main Ethereum highway. This allows for faster and cheaper transactions, which is essential for wider adoption. Arbitrum is a great example of a Layer 2 that really gained traction.
Okay, so Ethereum is streamlining burning ETH and getting help from these Layer 2 speed demons. You'd think they'd be on top of the world, right?
Here's where it gets interesting. Even with all these improvements, Ethereum's dominance in the decentralized finance or DeFi space actually slipped a bit.
Hold on, really? I thought Ethereum was like the king of DeFi. What happened?
For the first time ever, their share of the DeFi trading volume dipped below 40%. This signals that other blockchains are stepping up their game and attracting users and developers. Competition is heating up, and that's good for everyone.
It's like a multi-ring circus with all these platforms vying for attention.
Yeah.
But while we're on the topic of shakeups, let's talk about the NFT scene. Remember how it was all about those Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs for a while? Well, in Q1, we saw a resurgence of a different breed. Bitcoin NFTs. Bitcoin NFTs. That's right, those pixelated punks on the Bitcoin blockchain.
Yeah.
Made a serious comeback.
They did. And it wasn't just a nostalgia trip. We're talking about projects like NodeMonks exploding in value. Imagine this. Their floor price went from about $10,500 to a jaw-dropping $56,000 in Q1.
Okay, that's insane. What was driving that hype? Was it just a case of everything old is new again?
It's partly about timing. Remember the Bitcoin halving that happened? That always gets people excited. But there's also a tech angle here. The launch of new tools, like the Runes standard, made Bitcoin NFTs way more appealing.
Hold on, runes. Break that down for me. It sounds like something out of a fantasy novel.
Think of runes like a set of building blocks for developers that allows them to create more sophisticated and interactive NFTs on Bitcoin, things that weren't possible before. So instead of just having a static image, you could have NFTs that evolve over time, or even have built-in functionality.
So it's like giving Bitcoin NFTs superpowers. No wonder people got excited. It sounds like innovation can really shake things up, even in a market that's been around for a while. But Q2 brought its own share of drama, especially with those airdrops everyone was buzzing about.
Ah, yes. The great airdrop frenzy. Everyone loves free tokens, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. It got pretty controversial.
Yeah, it felt like every other day there was a new airdrop. What was the big controversy?
Well, imagine you're a project giving away free tokens. You want real users to benefit, right? But then you've got these airdrop farmers swooping in with dozens of fake accounts trying to game the system.
So it's like those people who use 100 email addresses to enter every online giveaway.
Exactly. Projects were going to extreme lengths to weed them out. We saw all sorts of crazy verification processes and eligibility criteria. And even then, it didn't always work. Some of those tokens still plummeted in value after launch.
It's a good reminder that even in the world of free money, there are no guarantees. And speaking of shaky ground, let's talk stablecoins. They're supposed to be the boring, stable part of crypto. But even they had their moments in Q1 and Q2.
They sure did. And you know, this is a topic that's close to my heart. Everyone gets caught up in the Bitcoin and Ethereum show. But stablecoins are the unsung heroes of the crypto ecosystem.
I'll admit, I used to find stablecoins kind of boring. But ever since that whole banking crisis thing earlier this year, I've been paying a lot more attention.
That crisis was a wake-up call for a lot of people. Suddenly, the idea of a stable asset pegged to the US dollar didn't seem so stable anymore, right? We saw some stablecoins lose their peg, meaning their value wasn't tied 1.1 with the dollar as it should have been.
Yeah, it made me realize that not all stablecoins are created equal. So break it down for me. What are the different types and what makes them tick?
You've got your fiat-backed stablecoins like Tether, USDT, and USD Coin, USDC. They're the most popular and are supposed to be backed by actual US dollar reserves. Then there are crypto-backed stablecoins, which use other cryptocurrencies as collateral. And let's not forget algorithmic stablecoins. They use fancy algorithms to manage supply and demand and maintain their peg without needing traditional reserves.
It sounds like there's a whole spectrum of stablecoins, each with its own set of risks and rewards. But the big question is, did all this chaos lead to any exciting innovations? What should we be keeping an eye on? Innovations in stablecoins. It seems like they're already trying to reinvent the wheel. Are we talking flying cars next?
Not quite flying cars, but definitely some exciting developments. One that caught my eye is Athena's USD. They're using a hybrid delta-neutral mechanism.
Okay, you've officially lost me. Hybrid delta-neutral what now? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Think of it like this. They're hedging their bets. Instead of relying solely on traditional reserves, they combine long and short positions on crypto assets. It's a way to create stability while also generating yield for USD holders.
Wait, hold up. You're telling me I could earn interest on a stablecoin? Now that's an innovation I can get behind.
Exactly. And Athena isn't alone. We've also got Aave and Curve jumping into the ring with their own decentralized stablecoins, CRVUSD and GHO. They're using a collateralized debt position model, but with some unique twists.
So it's like the Wild West of stablecoin experimentation out there.
In a way, yes, but this experimentation is crucial. By diversifying how stablecoins maintain their peg, we could see a more resilient system, less vulnerable to shocks from the traditional financial world.
It's like they're building earthquake-proof foundations for the future of finance. But let's be real, all this innovation probably has regulators sweating bullets. What's the latest on that front?
It's a mixed bag. We've seen some crackdowns, like the U.S. Department of Justice charging Samurai Wallet and its founders with money laundering. That definitely sent ripples of concern through the crypto community.
Yeah, that's a stark reminder that regulators are watching, and the rules of the game are still being written.
Absolutely. But there have also been positive signs. Remember back in January when the SEC finally approved those U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs? That was huge. And they followed that up by closing their investigation into Ethereum 2.0 and recently approving spot Ethereum ETFs too. Plus, major players like Stripe are dipping their toes back into stablecoin support.
So it's a push and pull. Between those trying to rein it in and those embracing the crypto revolution, it makes you wonder, where do we go from here? What were the major takeaways from Q1 and Q2, and what should we be watching out for in the second half of 2024?
One thing is clear. The crypto market is maturing. It's becoming more intertwined with global events and traditional finance. We saw that in how macro factors influenced crypto prices, in the growing interest from institutional investors, and in the ever-evolving regulatory landscape.
It's no longer this isolated island in the financial world. It's becoming part of the mainland.
Exactly, and that brings both opportunities and challenges. We saw amazing innovation with Layer 2 solutions, Bitcoin NFTs, and new stablecoin models. But we also saw how regulatory uncertainty and market volatility can create roadblocks.
It's a tightrope walk between embracing innovation and navigating the unknown. So for those of us wanting to keep our heads above water, what should we be paying attention to? What's the big question on your mind?
The million-dollar question is this: will Bitcoin maintain its dominance, or are we on the cusp of an alt season, where Ethereum and other chains take center stage? The events of the last 2 quarters have set the stage for some fascinating possibilities. It's going to be an exciting ride.
I don't know about you, but I'm strapped in and ready for the next loop-de-loop. For our listeners, we encourage you to dive into the links we've provided. Do your own research and stay tuned, because we'll be back to unpack more crypto craziness in our next deep dive. Until then, happy investing.